Today we explain why just 0.00266% of the population is successful.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
Yes, I repeat, we explain why just 0.00266% of the population is going to be successful, statistically speaking. In fact, according to Forbes, right now, 47% of Americans don't pay income taxes. That's 47% of the people out there that we're never going to convince to take personal responsibility for their lives or to try to improve their lives or to take ownership of their destination. But we don't record this show for that 47%. We record the Thrive Time show for people like you and people who want to move from beyond just surviving and into a spot and into a place where they can be financially thriving. We record each and every Thrive Time show for the goal pursuers and the diligent doers, the people out there willing to put in the work, the people that just want to know the field they need to plow right about now. And on today's show, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate with marketing in this digital world. What steps do you need to specifically take? We're going to teach you about optimizing your Google My Business account. We're going to teach you about the importance of generating objective reviews from your real, ideal, and likely buyers. All this and much, much more on this game-changing edition of the Thrive Time Show on your radio and podcast download.
Grab the duct tape and mentally prepare yourself for yet another mind-expanding knowledge bomb from America's #1 business coach, Clay Clark.
Bombs away.
Yes, and yes. Dr. Z, are you prepared to get nerdy?
Ooh, yes. You know it. I love getting nerdy.
I want to talk
Get
about
your
this.
nerd on.
I want some of the listeners out there to go to Nerdville with me, and let's do a lot of examples. And then we'll explain what we're talking about. According to Business Insider right now, 90.8% of humans are using Google to find the things they need. 90.8. Z, if you round it up, it seems like a lot of people are using Google.
The Google. That's like 9 out of 10. I mean, just roughing it out.
So I'm just asking you anecdotally, for today, have you Googled anything, sir?
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah. I Googled something while earlier on the show.
Okay. And then, Devin, have you Googled anything today?
Oh, all the time.
Charles, have you Googled anything?
Yeah, Cola Fitness, #1 gym in the world, yes.
So what happens is that people, they Google things, and I would say that 90.8% of people, according to Business Insider, Google things. But I would say that 99.8% of the people that I have met do not know how Google works.
Uh-oh.
But I do.
Does it matter?
Matters a lot, and there's people out there that say it doesn't. So let me give you an example. There's one guy who I've worked with for many, many years who, I'm not exaggerating, almost every time he comes into his weekly meeting, he shows me a text message, and he'll show me a text, and it'll be a screenshot of something from his computer, and it's another $2 million deal. Now, he builds big buildings at about a 20% margin, huge buildings, and he'll say, hey, man, thanks a lot, and he'll show it to me.
That's awesome.
And we joke
That's awesome.
that we make him a lot of money. He's always like, hey, man, you just made me some more money. And I've always asked him, well, how much is it? Because, I charge him a fee, and I say, did you make $1,000? And then he'll say, no, it's a $2 million deal. And I said, so I've registered for Yeezys. I'm in need. Have you thought about buying me Yeezys to thank me? And then he'll say,
It's a fair question.
no, I haven't. And I'm like, have my fees gone up in the last 5 years? No. I'm just curious. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and get I do it almost every meeting starts like this because he just gets deals. And what happens is people find his website in Google and they see the portfolio of the huge projects he's done and they go, wow. And then they click on the reviews and they say, wow. And they're already pre-sold because they've watched 20 video testimonials. They've read the reviews on Google. They're pre-sold.
Right.
And he said, now go back, Clay, 1990, 2000. He was out there trying to convince you over and over and over that you should use him. And he said the bidding process would take forever. Another example, Shaw Homes. I found this fun fact out. When I first started working with Shaw Homes, it was towards the end of 2015. We're just getting going, that 2016. They sold $300,000 of houses during January of 2016. They just passed $12 million of sales in this January.
Wow.
It's a 38
awesome.
38 times. 38 times. And I asked Aaron Antis, do you know that I've registered for some Yeezys? I'm in need.
I'm in need.
And so I'm waiting, Aaron. I'm waiting.
I got the knees
size 14
for the Yeezys.
Yeah, Colton Dixon. I heard my plea for Yeezys, and he got me a pair of Yeezys.
Well, he's a rock star, though. I mean,
He literally is a rock star.
And he's a really nice guy.
And Da Vinci, they heard my plea. It's like a cry. I need Yeezys. I will work for Yeezys. I'm willing to do it. I got a cardboard sign. I write on it, and I have a little sign I run around the office with, "Will work for Yeezys." You're listening right now. This is not hyperbole. Just all you need to do, mail them to the Riverwalk. We put our address on the show. You just mail them to. That's all I'm asking for. They're about $300.
What size you need?
14. And all I'm saying is, if you just send me some Yeezys. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel bad if you don't send me Yeezys, but you probably won't feel whole. You won't feel good. It's like a seed faith.
It
you
is.
Sow the seed.
Yeah, and
sow the seed.
Sow the Yeezys.
And you'll feel 10 times better. I guarantee it half the time.
How much better will you feel if they're 10 times? How much better are you going to feel?
I feel 1% better, so I need 100 pairs of Yeezys to feel as good as you feel on the first.
That's fair.
It's just
fair.
math.
That's just math.
So I want to, and then I share another example. If you Google search Joplin Gyms right now, Joplin Gyms, this great guy over here to my left and to your right, if you're watching at home, his company, Kolaw Fitness, is just beating up the Google search results. So Kendall, look at this. Look at these search results. So do a search here for Joplin Gyms. I'm putting it up on the big screen. Look at this. See, he's got 4,298 reviews. Planet Fitness, not so good there. Planet Fitness is not doing not so well on the reviews. If you carry the one, you look at the two. The 4,298 reviews is more than 268.
He's got over 4,000 more reviews.
But now
That's
Kolaw
incredible.
is coming up twice in the map because of this is whenever you have the most reviews, you start coming up in the whole country top for things. So let's do a search for carpet cleaning quotes, which is the most common searched phrase in the world right now for carpet cleaning. And you see an ad. That's an ad. Oh, I clicked the ad. Oops. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, man.
I clicked the ad. Oh, I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it.
Totally got you.
Oh, these are ads. Oxyfresh, 179,000 reviews. So we go back to Joplin Gyms. Now, I'm just asking you, Mr. Listener, person watching this, if you were online looking for a gym in Joplin, again, Kolaw comes up number 1. And then they come up, see, look at this, number 2 on the search results. And then they come up, all of their videos come up. Look at this.
It's beautiful.
And then if
it's a
you scroll
beautiful
down,
thing.
they come up again, and then they come up again on Facebook, and then that's their images. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They come up 11 times in the first 17 search results. That, my friends, is called domination.
As Hans and Franz said, that is total domination. Total domination.
But what happens is some people are looking for entertainment masked as education. They say, I listened to your show because I learned so much. And I'm saying, listen to our show because you apply so much. So whenever I get a question from a listener, I stop everything, you stop everything, and we answer the question.
Yeah, we love it. We love getting questions.
We love it. This is our highlight of our day because that means you're engaging. We're not here to entertain. We're here to help you. We want to help you.
Do I entertain you?
We're here to help somebody make copious amounts of money.
Oh, yeah.
And then we want to have some fun along the way. So let's,
and maybe every now and then get a pair of Yeezys in the mail. I mean, just saying.
I'm saying to you, if you right now mail, see, what size shoe do you wear?
Depends on the width, 9.5 or 10. I've never had a pair of Yeezys.
You got to go 10 because they run a little small.
They do run a little narrow.
Yeah, I wear 13 and everything. I get a 14 Yeezy.
So I'd be a 10 then.
Okay, so you get a size 10 and a size 14 Yeezy. It's going to set you back about $500 total, $600, and you're gonna feel part of you is gonna feel lighter, like you passed out a burden, or like less money's in your wallet.
Right.
You're gonna feel
part
lighter.
of you will feel that. But it will be totally made up for the part of you that feels whole again by giving a gift to us. Because you know what? We do this out of the goodness of our heart.
And what I'll do is, if you do it, I want you to sign the shoes, though. Please sign the shoes. And I promise you, I will feature your shoes on a lot of shows. I'll talk about it. I want you to sign the shoe, sign the bottom of it like NBA ballers do. And it's like product placement. I'm not the kind of guys who's going to hop on a show and say, look, go to Elephant in the Room for all your haircuts. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to just put my own logo on. We wouldn't do that.
We wouldn't do that.
We never plug your optometry clinic.
We're not those kind of guys.
We don't say you have to bank on Regent Bank. We don't talk about, we don't mention the name of our
deals
companies.
at Z66.
We don't name drop. This is not a shameless show.
Yeah, we didn't tell you to go get your sleep studies at Dr. Z Sleep Center. We don't say that.
We don't say go visit your brother Chuck and get your spine adjusted over there at Dr. Zellner's. You don't want it. We don't name drop.
We don't. And I think that's what enables us to say we're the classiest business podcast / radio show in the world.
There are some shows that you could classify as assy.
Right.
Where ours is classy.
Right.
That's what we do.
We put the CL in assy.
Right. All right. So I'm going to read the question from the Thriver, and then Devin, who speaks nerd but is not a nerd.
Whoa.
It would be like if you can speak Spanish, but you are not
Hispanic.
from the Spanish heritage.
This is true.
You have a vast knowledge of the language, but he's able to step into the world of nerd and then step out.
Yeah, it's like a guy that can't speak Canadian, and they're not. I mean, they can speak Canadian, but they're not from Canada. Right?
So before I read the question, Charles, have you found yourself as the owner of a gym sometimes thinking to yourself, why does this have to be so nerdy? Have you ever had that thought of I just hate this technology? Have you ever had that thought?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, have you ever had a thing where you've
That's
tried to log on?
surround myself with Devins.
Have you ever tried to either A, build an app or B, update a website and get so pissed that you just left it?
Yes, I have, for sure.
All of my clients say this. They go, I was trying to update my website and I realized 14 hours into it, this can't be my life.
It can't be your life.
So here we go. Here's the question. The question is this a common thing with Google to have to verify my business profile? Also, what are the advantages of publishing my business profile on Google? I obviously know how to use Google search engine and Google, what does it mean to publish my business Google profile? So it seems like it turns it into another almost Facebook, like social media platform to post pics, create a free Google website. So I'm going to show you an example here. If you Google search right now, Tulsa men's haircuts.
Tulsa men's haircuts.
If you're on the video version, you can see this. I come up top in Google. Okay, I got 1,620 reviews. Then I've got the competitor, former employee, by the way. Thank you. With 67 reviews. And then we've got another place where former employees go is below us. And then we come up top in Google right there. And then we have our videos coming up. The same kind of results that you see over there at Cola. It's just total domination. So what we want to do is we want to have the most reviews here, and this is 1/4 of the algorithm. So you have variable number 1, whoever has the most reviews. 2, whoever has the most original content. 3, whoever has the most mobile compliance. And 4, whoever has the most canonical compliance. So Devin, why does this listener and all of our listeners, why do all of our listeners out there have to manage and verify their Google My Business profile? Why?
Well, first thing is it gives Google an idea that your business is actually alive. Google's not going to send people to a website or a business that, doesn't have a pulse. And so gathering those Google reviews and having people leave those objective reviews really helps Google understand, that your business is legitimate. It's not just a bunch of scammers out of somebody's basement.
Now, check this out for a second. Z, have you and your lady friend gone to see a movie somewhat recently?
A movie.
A film. Did you see a film?
At the movie theater.
At the Warren, have you gone to see a movie?
Yes, I have. Recently, how do you define recently? Within the last 90 days, 60 days, 30 days, last week, last 24 hours?
To me, recently is any time in the past 2 years.
Oh,
okay. Now, when you saw the movie, did you read reviews before seeing the movie, or did you go blind?
Go blind.
You did?
Well, I mean, it was a movie I was looking forward to. I saw a preview. I know, familiar maybe with an actor. I'm trying to think.
Rocky 87?
Yeah, Rocky 80, 87, 88, whatever it takes. So there's always something that triggers me about the movie. A lot of times when I'm going to a movie, then they have the previews of movies coming up. And when something in that movie, triggers, hey, I want to see that movie.
You don't read reviews first?
Why would I read reviews?
Sometimes
some of the best movies in the world.
No, but this is no. See, this is that what you're doing.
I'm old school.
Listen, you are hopping into my trap.
Uh-oh.
And this is a trap. Remember the scene from Star Wars where it's like, look, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
This was the trap. I wanted you to say that, and you didn't even know. As mind powers. Because every entrepreneur,
you use your Jedi mind tricks.
Every entrepreneur that I know, every one of them that I know, I ask them, do you read reviews? And they always say, nope. You know why? Because we don't give a crap what other people think. We don't care what other people think. Yeah. We're an entrepreneur. We don't care what people think. I don't care what people think about what I wear. I never think about what other people think at all, ever. My wife says, you should think about what other people think before you say that.
Before you don't wear pants.
I'm serious, though. So I've had situations recently where it's funny, but a person very close to us said, hey, are you going to do such and such? I don't want to get myself in trouble. Are you going to do such and such? And without even thinking, I said, no, I would never do that. And it was super offensive to them and all the people there who do that thing.
Uh-oh.
And see, but entrepreneurs, we go against the traffic, against the grain. So I'm not, as an example, the movie Fargo won a bunch of awards. And if you're out there and you were in the movie Fargo, I'm sorry, but that was the worst movie of all time. And I've had people try to sell that crap uphill and say, oh, it's a great movie. You just had to really get into it. Now somebody else there says, Clay, The Matrix is the best movie ever. And you know what? The Matrix might be the best movie ever for you. But I hate The Matrix. And I love that you love The Matrix, and it's great. But I got out of the theater, and everybody I was with said, oh, that was good. And I go, I didn't get it. I don't care. I don't like it. And I don't care that other people don't like it. I just have like a very counterintuitive, and you do too, Z. You'll do ads that people think are crazy or no-brainers that people think are nuts. I mean, Charles, it's Co-Law Fitness. You charge how much for your gym memberships over there at Co-Law Fitness?
The low is $5 a month.
How do you make any money doing that?
We're just like a philanthropy. We just no. We the best way to make money off of that is you get them in the door, and our memberships are around $20. If you come 12 or more times in a month, you get it for $5. So it still averages,
Are you aware?
$10, $15.
Are you aware that you only eat meat? Are you aware that you only eat meat and vegetables? Are you aware of this?
Yes.
Again, you don't.
When was the
care
last time a carb entered your mouth, other than a vegetable carb? Do you remember?
Think about that.
Don't tell
Seriously?
me. You woke up the other
I
morning.
don't know.
You said, "Honey, I'm going to go lift some weight," and you snuck out the Dunkin'
There's
Donuts.
a couple
Come on
times.
now. You had a sprinkly or
I was
something.
last summer. I was dieting too hard, and I ate some carbs before I went and worked out. Yeah, because I felt like I needed to have more energy. Yeah.
What'd you eat? A loaf of bread?
Have both you and your wife always been thin? Have you guys both always been thin?
No, I was over 300 pounds in high school. Played football. Big chubby guy.
I'm just saying is you don't sit around and ponder what's average to you.
No.
You don't sit around and go, oh, what's the average? Okay, I'll fit into that crowd somewhere. I mean, put the camera on Charles. First off, look how big you are. I mean, where do you buy shirts? Is that painted on? Is that a painted on shirt? Where do you get that thing? No, but I mean,
I just buy them really small.
Do you realize how much of an outlier you are? And Z, you're the same way. You guys are outliers. You're.
Do I have to show my biceps? I don't think it'll be.
Well,
as
show us
impressive.
calves.
Show
No.
your calves.
Show
Your
us
calves are
calves.
awesome. Cows.
No,
They're
I
out.
mean-
They're out in the field, guys.
I'm
I don't want to round them up.
When I think of Co-Law Fitness, this is what I think of. I think extremely outspoken Christians, extremely into fitness, extremely into values. And if you don't like it, that's fine.
Yeah, you're not
But
a
I
good
don't
fit.
see you as a guy who's like, Amber, I was reading reviews, and what I've determined is that we should probably go to this restaurant. I mean, you guys seem to strike me as independent people who do whatever you want to do.
Yes.
Right? I mean, am I
Very-
wrong there?
Very true. Generally, it's the opposite direction of everybody else.
Yes. Now, Z, I mean, do you spend a lot of time pondering, if you're getting universal praise from the world before doing anything?
No.
Why? Everybody else does.
Well, here's the deal. When you look at the numbers, they say according to Forbes and according to other sources, about 8 to 9 out of 10 businesses fail. Probably closer to 9 than 8, but we won't debate that right now.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden now you think about how many people out there start a business, and right now there's out of 330 million people in the United States of America, 16 million are business owners. Is that the number? Okay.
Right now you have in our country, just so we're clear, the SBA showed there are 28 million small business LLCs out there, but only 22 that are active. So I guess people have an LLC and then don't do anything with it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then Inc. said within 10 years, 96% of those 22 million are done.
Right, and then the others just then you have others signing up and opening up and starting up. So if you think about it, so out of 330 million, only 22 million are attempting to do a business, and only 4% of those are going to be successful for the long haul. So who are you taking your advice from? I mean, you're taking advice from people that have, me, I'm an entrepreneur, and the way I think is the way I think, and I have multiple successful businesses. And if I listened to and took advice from everybody that crossed my path over the last 25 years of entrepreneurship, I mean, I'd be listening to people that very few of them would be successful as an entrepreneur. Why would I take advice from them? You know, why would I do that?
I did the math the other day because I was looking at I was thinking about this and it was kind of freaking me out. But in America right now, you've got 330 million Americans. So see if you can follow me here. There's 330 million Americans in our country. I know whenever you talk math, it gets weird. But
This is a nerd show.
well, there's three. Oh, there we go. This is
true.
This just in. This is the nerd show. This is the nerd show.
I think you should talk like this for the next while you're doing
In my
this
opinion, this is
mathematical
how. This is a great show.
It's a great show.
Don't I always
See,
sound like this?
Can I go put on a white lab jacket while we're doing this
See,
segment?
you look majestic on today's show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You know, sometimes I like using big words even if I don't know what they are, so I sound more photosynthesis. I mean, it's just,
It's awesome. That's
awesome.
amazing.
It's
Hey,
amazing.
let's play Dungeons and Dragons after this.
Oh, I've got my dice in my pocket. Let's go.
Do you have any pogs?
Yeah, I've got 2.
Let's meet on a chat room. I don't like looking at people. Okay. So in our country, there are 22 million people that call themselves self-employed right now, and a country of 320 million people.
330.
So this is. So let's do the math here. So right now, and Kendall, look at the math on the screen here. I'm doing the math on the screen so the listeners can watch it there. So we got a point. It's 6%. 6.6% of the population is self-employed. All right, so 6% of the population is self-employed. Now, if you say 6% is self-employed, but 96% of those fail. So let's take 330 million.
No, just take 22 million, dude, times 0.04. There you go.
Times 0.04. Here we go. Times 0.04. And by the way, Z study mathematics.
I just have a BS. We know what that means.
So that means there's only 8.8 million people that really get it for entrepreneurship. So you take 8.8 million. And a country of 330 million, let's see here, that would take us to, I did it the wrong way. I need to flip it around here. It's always awkward watching a guy do math the wrong way.
No,
on
you
a-
got
on a
it.
show.
So 3%
Yeah, I
of the
got
people out there.
Yeah, it's
Talk about the 1% club. This is the 3% club.
yeah, you got
2.5.
See, out of a population of 330 million people, what percentage is that? Let's see here. Let's see that. So you've got like
2.5%, 2.6%.
it's a really small number.
It's a small number.
And so if you're at a dinner, you know, or if I go to a speaking event, and somebody comes up and gives me a pro tip, this is my first advice I would give to all the listeners out there. 1, look at the fruit before you follow
That's
it
how you
back
judge-
to the root.
That's how you judge the tree.
So what you do is you say, sir, and it happens all the time. The guy will come up to me. This happened at a conference we did 3 years ago.
Hey, here, listen, wait a second. Let me put it in perspective.
Yes.
If you're in a room with 99 other people, so
Yes.
you make 100.
Yes.
And we know you're a successful entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That means 1.5. There's one dude and maybe a dude on the verge or a lady that would be able to give you any kind of advice that would be like substantial.
But it's not even that good because you think about this: if there's 8 million that actually have, if you got 6% of the population that even starts a company, but then Inc. says that 96% of those are going to fail. So you start getting into it's 4% of the 8.8 million. I mean, it's an infinitely small number.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, you have 22 million that are starting them
Yep.
or have them.
Yep.
8, and then they 96% fail.
Yeah.
And then, so now you have even smaller. So what I'm saying is that you only have like a 2% success rate. So if you're in a room with 100 people, there's only 2 of you that know what they're talking about.
I think it's
on
even
average.
smaller than that. I think it's even smaller. It's like
Okay,
a
let me do
really,
it.
it's
Let me
a
dig in.
it's a bad thing. And so all I would say is, it's at the conference, a guy comes up to me. This is a true story. He says, "Clay, I noticed you don't have a lot of YouTube subscribers." And I said, oh, okay. I mean, he came at me, kind of aggressive. It wasn't like I didn't ask him for feedback, Z. I didn't ask him.
Right.
He said, "You don't have a lot of YouTube subscribers." And I said, okay. And he said, so if you want to learn to grow it and take it to the next level, I think you should teach more about that.
Oh, it is. It's less than 1%. You missed the decimal on your
I
math.
did. Yeah, I
You
missed the
missed
decimal. So what's the number? Show it to the camera. What's the number?
It's not even 1%. It's a fourth of a percent. Of the 333
Yes.
million people, 1/4 of 1%.
Well, what's the number? I'm going to type it on the show notes. What's the number?
Well, it's what you had up there before, just another
Point-
0 in there. 0.000266666.
Repeating.
Yes,
Yeah.
repeating.
Okay, so again, why is just 0.00266% of our population successful? Well, let me tell you. This guy says you only have like 1,000 YouTube subscribers. And I said, I know. And he said, why? And I had this number. I had the number written down because I had the team. Devin, you hear me? I obsess over this number all the time.
Right.
But we had the number written down, and I was doing the math. And in Tulsa how many people live in Tulsa right now? The Tulsa population.
You told me this.
In the city
500,000.
proper, 500,000 plus, and then the DMA, the demographic marketing area is about 1 million. You know.
Okay, so let's right now I'm seeing here it says 401,000 in Tulsa proper. You're correct, 1 million for the whole city. So let's just say let's take it times 1 million just to see what happens here. So Kendall, I'm do the math here real quick. Look at the screen here. So we got 1 million. I hear times 0.0026. Repeat. There's only 2,660 of us in the city. So I'm sitting there talking to this guy, and I'm not trying to attack him. He's coming at me pretty hot at this point because I'm not covering the social media. And I said, "Hey Holmes, how much money do you make?" And it was just one-on-one.
Oh yeah.
And he said, "What?" And I said, "Well, to me, the goal of a business is to serve you and to create both time and financial freedom." And I'm just throwing it out. This is just me talking.
Just me talking.
Every month, I'm going to put $100,000 in my bank. Now, I don't know what you're doing. Now, I don't know because you might be making more than me or less. But I'm just saying you're coming in pretty hot right now. And I don't know. And I knew the guy. Know him very well. Because he likes to take photos with me and post and act like we're buddies, or he'll edit me into photos. He does it all the time. He loves to take.
Are you talking about me, Clay?
No. But I mean, if you do some research, you'll find this guy. But he likes to add me to photos and make it seem like I'm endorsing his crap. But the point is, I said, you have a lot of Instagram followers. You do. That's awesome. But you have no money. And you got to be thinking about who is on Instagram because he sells his product to other businesses, business to business. See. What percentage of the business guys that you know that are prolifically wealthy are on Instagram all day?
No, none of them.
Interesting. So, I mean, but see, you see these people, they're out there chasing it. They're selling business to business, and they're trying to build their Instagram following. And I'm just going to listen. I don't have, if the Thrive Time show gets as big as it, and by the way, Z, recently under iTunes, in the category of business and in the subcategory of entrepreneurship, we hit number 4 again. We're moving up again. It's just happening.
It's awesome.
But the thing is, we're never going to have more listeners than I'm going to put the number here. I mean, this is just real reality. I'm not depressed about it, but we're not going to have more than about 877,000 people that like what we do.
Yeah, it's funny. I was moving into my new house this past weekend, and one of the movers, to come to find out, we had grown up in the same neighborhood 40 years ago, 45 years ago. Hadn't seen him in 35 years probably. And it was kind of a neat little reunion. And it was funny because he said, "Hey, every now and then I've tried to, I've kind of followed your career. You're doing great." And, he's moving me into this, he's one of the movers moving me in the house. And he's going, "Wow, what a house." And, "Man, I'm so glad you did so well. You've worked hard. And we're all kind of proud of you from the old neighborhood and that kind of stuff, I said, "Oh, thanks, man. That's awesome." He goes, "Yeah, I was trying to reach out to you the other day and you're not on Facebook. You're not on, you're not on." Yeah. And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And he goes, "Why not?" And I go, "Look around. It's because I'm too busy doing other stuff. Yeah. I'm not going to spend my time sitting there liking, not liking, commenting, getting into political arguments or, religious political combo arguments about, why abortion's wrong. I mean, just crazy stuff that people get on there and spend hours and get so frustrated and try to change people's opinions on a Facebook post, or putting their personal life. I don't know why these people go around putting all their personal life in this public media for people to see, and then trying to show off, like, look at our vacation. I'm like, yeah, right. You had the same arguments. You had the same delays at the airport. You had the same issues we all have on vacation.
There we go.
And you post one picture of a sunset with the
you go through the vomit of life and post the kernels of corn. Good job.
I mean, it is what it is.
Good job.
And I get it. And people, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But, my thing is, building businesses and making money and growing my life and trying to limit, people just having random access into my personal stuff. I don't think that I don't think it's healthy.
Right.
And I really think it's kind of counterproductive. And right now, studies have shown that how many hours, Clay, are people spending?
11.3 hours per day engaging on media on their phone right now.
Oh, it's just almost.
That's according to Nielsen.
It's almost.
I'll put a link to it.
And we're around everybody. I mean, I can't drive now with someone, the light turns green and they're sitting. You don't want to honk because it's almost rude, but you're like, "Oh, please put down your phone and look at it."
So this is
go.
How
seriously.
you know if someone's going to be a successful entrepreneur. A successful entrepreneur only cares about what they can control. They do. So as an example, somebody said the other day, you guys should do a show about Pelosi ripping Donald Trump's speech in half. And I said very nicely, I said, I think there's a lot of other shows that have covered that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do shows about how to optimize Google, how to make a pro forma, how to hire people, how to fire people, how to improve your life. Because I don't want to talk about the lives of unattainable things, and I don't want to talk
things you
about
can't change.
the
I mean,
divisiveness.
that's other people's.
Other
That's their
people's thing.
lane.
Yeah.
We're going to stay in our lane, and our lane is helping you start, giving you the confidence and the wherewithal to start a business, and then also how to grow that business, and more importantly, how to keep that business open. 'Cause that's a big deal.
I've even had listeners to the show. Jill Donovan was sharing with me the story. She said she's going down the mountain and she found our show that got suggested to her on iHeartRadio. See, and she did not even know about the podcast. So she's on a mountain skiing. iHeart suggests it. She listens to it.
Oh, how fun!
And I was doing this particular show. I was explaining how. And again, if you're a woman out there or a guy out there, I know someone's gonna get pissed. But this was the show. The question from a listener was, how did you find the time to get stuff done when your kids were young? And I said, I never spent any time with them at all, and I never changed diapers. And the listener was just outraged.
Outraged.
And I said, they don't remember anyway. And you have said a similar comment. No, when they're like 2 and 3.
I know, sure.
And so people are like, you are a sick man.
You're a horrible father.
And I'm like, but that's the truth. Now, I spend a lot of time with them now, but at the time I didn't. Or people will say, how do you find the time to write a book? And I say, I turn my phone off every weekend. And they're like,
what?
So again, this show's about the practical stuff. So the next question, Devin, we're speaking
and
nerdy.
by the way, tell them who Jill is. So
Jill Donovan is the founder of Rustic Cuff.
Give her a shout out.
And the punchline of this here is that she tried to share the show with her ski buddies, and she said pretty much it was kind of like trying to share bad milk. People would smell it to see what if it was bad or not. Then they're like, I don't like that show. Did you hear him?
Yeah, but she's a successful rock star entrepreneur.
And she loves the show for all the reasons that everybody else hates the show.
Yes.
Right.
So we only have 880,000 people that are ever going to like
that's our target.
show.
That's our target audience at any time.
877,000.
Yeah, that's our target audience.
So here we go. So the next question he has, Devin, is he says, but since I already have my own website hosted with GoDaddy, and we already have a Facebook site, as I shared with Julia, I believe that Verizon Super Pages created it when we were buying ad space from them in the actual Yellow Pages. Yep, that book. That was probably like 10 years ago or more. Thanks for looking into how we can hopefully reclaim the site, by the way. I thought that Google actually did away with their social media site. Wasn't it called Google Plus or something? So I think the comment is he has a website that is hosted, I believe, with GoDaddy. He says, I already have my own website hosted with GoDaddy, and we already have a Facebook site. I'm going to take a stab at this. I think what you're saying or asking about is why do you have to have a new WordPress-based website? I think that's where we're headed here.
Right.
Devin, please explain why you want to use WordPress.org. And by the way, if you're listening right now, go to thebestseobook.com, thebestseobook.com. And there you can download my search engine optimization book for free. And then chapter 2 of it has a checklist of all the things you need to do. But why do we need to have a WordPress.org based website? And why can't we have like a Facebook site or a site made by the Yellow Pages or something like that?
Sure. So a WordPress-based website is out of the box the easiest website to optimize and maintain and make sure that it meets Google standards for pulling up in search results. And so by having a WordPress-based website as well as a Facebook, you're just giving more hooks that Google can grab onto for your business.
I'm not going to mention any specifics. I don't want to get myself in trouble.
Sure.
But years ago. Years ago. See, that could have been weeks ago, years ago, hours ago.
Yeah, obviously we
there
think
was
recently is 2 years.
A former client who had a website that they would not allow Devin to have access to on GoDaddy. And they also would not build their site on WordPress. And they kept insisting on building it on Wix. And so it looked beautiful, but no one could find it. And I tried to explain this person through sock puppets, it's like, hey, everybody, there's a website, and this website can't be found in Google. I tried that. I tried the forest analogy. I'm like, hey, you got a forest, and you got this great billboard, and you put it in the forest, and no one can see it, and that didn't work. I tried saying, let's Google search your term.
Maybe if you tried puppets in the forest, you should have gone that third move.
I tried every puppets in the forest. A puppet puppet walks into a forest.
A puppet's in the forest and he's looking
and
around.
Batman's over there, and Batman says, "Hey, everybody, I can't find your website."
Right, get back over
I
here.
mean, seriously. So I tried all these moves. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show the listeners what I'm talking about. If you Google search right now, Bill Belichick fan, and you can pull it up on the screen here. You can see the screen. I come up top in Google.
Top in Google?
Well, why?
Why?
Well, first off, I am his number one fan, right? In my opinion. But look at this. I come up top as his number one fan. And I come up top for his personal assistant who rejects me all the time. And the thing is, I am obsessive about Bill Belichick. And I am top because I have recorded, seriously, over 50 hours of shows about Belichick.
Do you get many people reaching out to you?
I did have a podcaster who covers for the Patriots who did reach out for questions. This did happen.
And what were the questions?
He wanted to do a study on basically talking about Patriots Nation and how the world would react if Tom Brady left and these kind of things. And so we had a little chat. And then he recognized that I was not an affiliated official. But we had a good conversation.
Yeah. Do you think Tom Brady's leaving, by the way? Sidebar? Just a quick sidebar.
I think what happened to Karl Malone his last year is happening with Brady, where the Lakers threw a ton of money at Karl Malone, who was a lifetime Utah Jazz.
Oh,
They said, we'll bring you and Gary Payton and Kobe and Shaq. You'll be like the dream team. And we're going to throw an impossibly high amount of money at you. We don't even care if we lose money all season.
You think it'd be a Joe Montana then?
I think that's what they're doing. I think they're throwing a big number at him. And I would hope he would stay, but I think they're throwing a big number at him.
Do you realize Joe Montana played himself in this last Super Bowl? I mean, he was a San Francisco 49er and then went to a Kansas City Chiefs, and those were the two teams playing. It was old Joe and new Joe, playing each other.
I remember that. I remember. Just saying they're throwing a lot of money at him. I think that Las Vegas has the best shot to get him if he goes.
I think the Chargers. They lose Phillip Rivers. I mean, they may. L.A.
Somebody's going to
throw out there. Doesn't he work
someone's going to
out
throw an insane amount of money at him, though.
You think? But money's never ever motivated him. It seems like his wife makes what $1 gajillion.
I think he will not leave, but I'm just saying I think people are throwing an insane amount of money at him.
Well, that I don't know that that's ever been the case with him. I mean, he could have pressed for more. He was the kind of guy that says,
always turn down the
"Don't
big
pay
bucks.
me a lot. I'd rather you spend more money on my left tackle to protect my blind side."
I love Brady, and I don't believe he's going to leave, but I think people are throwing sick money at him. Like what you might make in 2 and 3 years. I think they're going to do.
I know, but it'd have to be a team that is like Super Bowl ready.
Yeah.
And I don't know too many teams out there that are just a quarterback short that are Super Bowl ready.
True.
Do you?
I mean, I don't.
I don't.
But I think they're going to try to throw a crazy amount of money at him.
I mean,
now, so we talk about this. So you've got to get to the top of Google. Charles, let's talk about Co-Law Fitness. When we started working together a couple, 3 years ago, you're a fitness guy. You and your wife are so good at customer service. You're good at motivating a team, casting a vision, inspiring people. I think does your wife handle a lot of the finances? Does she do a lot of the financial stuff?
Yes, sir.
What are the two lanes? Like, what does she do and what do you do in your business?
She's kind of an integrator and also watches the numbers, and I'm more visionary and far as in like casting the vision where we want to go, coaching up the team.
Do you remember what it felt like the first time I talked to you about how Google worked? Yeah. Was it overwhelming? Was you did not believe it? Was it dumb? Was it weird? Was it confusing?
Well, I first off, when you would say, "Hey, we got to do this, check all these boxes," I'm like, "Are you sure we have to do that?" And you're like, "Yes, and you're like adamant about it. And I was trying to stay coachable, and I've learned a lot about certain people that have been, like you said, like successful. You see that one person's done really well, has done it well with other companies. So I need to actually listen and try to be coached up, even though I'm a 38-year-old knucklehead. And so I'm trying to listen, trying to let myself be open to it.
Yep.
And the next thing I said, let's try it. Let's try this. So everything you say, I just try to implement.
And it's worked for us.
And it started working, and it showed in the numbers. And, here we are dominating the markets with major competitors.
Total domination. Now, if you're out there today, the next question that our listener has asked, but again, you can ask any questions. Just email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com, info@thrivetimeshow.com, and we'll answer your question. I love answering your questions. But the question is publishing my business on Google something that you guys would recommend? Yes, but it's a garden and you got to pull the weeds. Yes, but it's a garden and you have to pull the weeds. So let's think about this. Dr. Zellner, are you the largest independent optometrist in the Tulsa area? Optometry clinic owner?
Yes.
And how many patients have you seen during these? I think you started, 97, 96?
I think we calculated over 1 million or something.
Yeah, and let's just say you got a Google review from half of them. Because Google hasn't even been around. The Google reviews didn't even matter until, 3-4 years ago. But if you did get a review from at least half of them or a third of them, you'd have like 300,000 some odd.
Wouldn't that be spectacular?
And the thing
fun.
is, most people by default don't leave a Google review. People vote with their dollars. They go to your optometry clinic every day because they're happy. That's why you do well.
Right.
But they don't leave reviews by default. Most people don't go, oh my gosh. I went out to Andolini's. Let me Kendall, put the camera on this here. I went to Andolini's in Broken Arrow with my wife the other day. I'll tell you what a jerk I am. I went there and the food was incredible. And the waiter had recently gotten in a car accident and he was kind of limping around, but he covered his shift.
That's good.
He was a good guy.
Good guy.
I went there with my wife, had a great meal, and you know what I did when the meal was over? You know what I thought about immediately? And I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to tell you what I thought about?
You're going to tip him?
Nope. I mean, I did tip him a lot, but you know what I thought about?
Leaving a review? Oh, yeah.
Now, this is the thing. Little bonus note. My mom was watching the kids.
Oh, yeah. Your belly full of pizza.
And I had two thoughts. One is, can I reverse a vasectomy right now? I thought about calling you. I was like, Z, you're an optometrist. You're a doctor. Can you take a look at this?
Absolutely.
And then the second was I thought about, you know what? It might be time for horizontal activity. And then
you mean business time?
Yeah, it's business time. It's business time. But I knew it wasn't time to leave a review.
Why is that?
Because I'm a normal person, and that's not what I think to do, because I'm not a troll.
Exactly.
But now I will leave a review for the Thrive Nation to see. I'll leave a review. Great food. Our waiter.
What'd you order there? What'd you get?
I got a grilled chicken salad and a Moscow Mule.
Oh, nice.
Our waiter was on point. He was on point. The bathrooms were clean. And it provided. I'm typing this now. It provided a great opportunity for me to contemplate the conception of our next child. What do you think about that, Z? Is that appropriate?
Oh, since you have a vasectomy, that's.
I posted it. I did.
There it is. It's done.
It's
in the atmosphere.
It's there.
But I liked it. I liked it so much, but I didn't. And there's a Quick Trip over here by my house that always gets it done. Z, they're so good. The Quick Trip. Z,
the question was did Vanessa get the same vibe from what she ordered?
Well, Vanessa went and hid in the bathroom when she saw that look.
Yeah, well, of course. but what did she order?
She likes to get some mozzarella sticks and that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, where'd she go? Where is she?
she?
But I've been to this Quick Trip off of Elm. I don't know how many times. Quick Trip is the best gas station ever. And they only have a 4.1. And look at this guy. Look at this guy. Zoom in on this guy. This guy. 27 reviews. He says, this location seems to always be a mess by the drink area. Thank you, Google, for giving everybody a platform. And this guy right now, he's going to say, dude, don't put me on blast right now on video. That's not cool, dude. And I'm going to say, dude, you're criticizing someone else's business, so it's just what it is. It's crazy. You can hide behind these anonymous screen names. I mean, Quick Trip is the best. I'm going to put here, the best. Let me do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take his right here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this. I'm going to copy his review. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to say, this location seems to always be perfect.
By the drink area.
By the drink area. By the drink area. Seems like there is enough workers for the level of traffic.
I love it when they don't even know how to
or something, because it's a total magical place at all times. Mr. Cadjo has his stuff together because he built a multi-billion-dollar business instead of spending his day writing Google reviews about urinals. Yes. Okay, we'll say urinals. The men's restroom floor is what I use as a table for my food. It is
for my lunch.
So clean that I want to host a picnic on the floors each evening. And let's see, each evening. Usually not covered in, because see, how many times have you been to Quick Trip?
1,000. I mean, 100. I'd say hundreds probably.
See, there was a thing you'd do back in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s and the 70s and the 50s. You'd walk up to the manager and you'd say, hey, there's urine here. Could you fix that? And they go, oh, my bad, I'm not perfect. But now we just go on Google, we write a bad review there. So usually not covered, usually not covered.
Usually so clean.
Usually so clean.
Yeah, I can.
So clean. I can see myself. I can see myself. I love Quick Trip. They
are the standard.
Was started by one man, and I'm a big fan. They set the standard. Now, for every person who has a podcast that leaves a positive review, there's only me. I don't know any other podcaster who's in the top 10, top 20, top 100 who does this, but I do. Why? Because I'm not a troll. I don't do that, but people, that's what they do. And so you got to set up the map. But see, as soon as you set up the map, here it comes. Here it comes.
I mean,
it makes you crazy.
It makes me crazy that kid, that young person,
yeah,
goes into this highly successful,
multi-billion,
one of the top 500,
places to work in America.
Places to work in America. I mean, Forbes 500, based right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Great company.
This is their home cooking right here.
Creating
We got
jobs.
home cooking.
Awesome.
And goes in there. And he probably a few minutes before the bathroom, they probably clean the bathrooms every so often because whenever I go in, I've never seen a dirty bathroom there.
Yes.
So you probably just caught it, maybe with the max, maybe 30 minutes, an hour. I don't know what their cleaning schedule is. Catches it on that one moment. That wasn't his first time in there.
I want to leave a review on the inside of this guy's car. I want to go inside his car and leave a review about the quality of his car. Now,
or his closet or his house. Or
his card probably got declined for a Coke.
But my point is that he goes in there and it's like, how many times has he been in there? How many times has it been wonderful? And then you leave reviews then. You could go back and see he didn't.
Hey, listen here. We got another one here. Chick-fil-A. Look at this.
Oh, no. Here we go.
This lady has left 27 reviews. And she says, I went in for an interview.
Oh, there we go.
And I've never seen anyone judge me the way the girl who was doing the interview, just because I have a tattoo. It's Chick-fil-A. It's not a tattoo parlor. You're not applying for a job at the casino. What the crap is wrong with you people?
You notice she doesn't have a picture on there. She probably has a face tattoo,
What are you doing? Why would you apply
I hate
for that
people
job?
tattooed on their face.
What the crap is wrong with you? This is like an Islamic cleric applying to be a youth pastor. What the hell? Get out of here. Seriously, this is like me going over to Iraq right now, showing up at a mosque and saying, you guys want to convert to Mormonism? Get out of here. This is stupid. This is like watching a soccer game and complaining there's no tackling. What the hell is wrong with you? Stop it. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to reverse this bad review too. So we'll put here. I went in for a non-interview as a current member of the, current member of the Life Church online community, and I have never seen anyone not judge me the way the girl who was doing the interview. No one can ever spell right, too. The ones who write bad reviews can never write correctly.
They can, of course. Wow, Shaka Khan. That's a big shocker right there. That blows my mind.
I've never seen anyone not judge me the way the girl who was doing the interview
so
didn't.
Shocking.
Just because
This is why I don't read reviews. This is exactly why I don't do it.
Just because I don't have a tattoo.
I don't care because a chick with a facial tattoo didn't get a job there, and she's mad now. Leaves a 1-star review. I'm still going to go buy some grilled nuggets at Chick-fil-A.
I'm very happy with them, and I am thinking about changing my name to Chick-fil-A.
To man who loves Chick-fil-A.
So we post these things. I got to put the star rating. I put the file.
Wait, if you wait for a non-interview, then play the interview. That was a little confusing.
Oh, I had to go there. I edited
confusing.
it.
Edit it.
Okay. So it says I went for a non-interview, and as a current member of the Life Church online community, I have never seen anyone. What's that?
But then you see, I've never seen one not judge me the way the girl who was doing the interview. That's confusing.
Who wasn't?
There you go. Who wasn't doing the interview? That makes sense.
See, help me finish that sentence off. It's so complicated.
So complicated.
I have never seen anyone
who wasn't doing the interview. Yeah.
judge me, not judge me the way the
Not
girl who
judge
wasn't
me.
doing the interview.
Not judge me and be so loving.
Yes.
Not judge me
Yeah.
and be so loving and
In-
be
in
so
In
loving.
a agape way. You don't want it to be weird. You don't want your wife to read this and go, how much have you spent at Chick-fil-A?
Maybe I change. I'll say there's a loving the and be so loving the way the elderly woman. Not judge me the way they didn't. That's what I'm going to say. So I've never seen anyone not judge me the way they didn't.
That's a double negative. You can't put that in there. That looks like you kids, but now it looks like you don't know English.
Tell me what I need to say. Help
Well,
me.
I'm trying to tell you. Okay, I went for I went for an interview just for the fun of it.
Okay, I went for. I
Okay,
have,
then you can
I have
do it.
actually applied back in the day.
Okay.
I went for an interview. I didn't get it. By
Yeah,
the way.
and now you can
As
be
a current
closer to
member
what she's
of my
saying.
community, I have never seen anyone not judge me the way they didn't. Just
Wait,
be,
I've
I
never
would say,
seen
like,
anyone
love
not
on me,
judge
but
me the
just
way they did.
Accept me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Value
They
me.
did.
Accept me.
They did. Okay.
just because I don't have a tattoo.
Just because I don't have a tattoo.
Accept
I
me
felt-
with my facial tattoo.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with them. And again, someone says, dude, you're
I
putting
will
this
do
person
really
on
good at the
blast.
front
But
desk.
listen, people are putting, it's crazy. Everybody now has a mic. It's like a Wu-Tang concert. Everyone has a mic.
But you know what? It's like social media. It's like someone said,
Yeah.
"Did you see what
Oh.
so and so
Did you
posted on
see?
whatever?" And I'm like, "No. Why not? I don't care. I'm not looking. I don't care.
Yep.
I don't care." And that's the problem is that so many people out there can't pull the trigger on anything in their life, and they're trying to get so many. They look at these reviews and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta look at these reviews because I can't make a decision based on my own analysis. What am I going to do?" And so this is a 4.8, this is a 4.7, but the 4.7 has twice as many reviews. So what does that mean? I got to read the reviews. Oh my gosh, I'm reading the reviews now, and now I've spent 30 minutes to an hour of my life trying to figure out where to buy a set of tires.
Unbelievable.
I'm like,
the
dude,
cognitive
really?
dissonance. You're like, I've bought for this company for 20 years, but now they have a 3.4.
Yeah, no,
I don't know if I can go.
I don't know if I can
Maybe
go.
things have changed.
This guy back in April 2018 said, "Quote, I had a bad experience."
Can we do
there."
this? This
I
is a
mean,
cool one. Why don't we do this? This is a new idea I've come up with for Google. Google, this is a new tip. If to post a review, you need to post your first name and last name. This would be my recommended change. You have to post your first and last name, and then your credit score and how much money you have in your bank.
No, and not only that, a working email address
And that would be fun.
and a phone number that works.
And then anytime you spell something wrong, it doesn't count.
No, I think a working email would be good because then
Yeah.
what they do is they send you an email and you have to verify it, right? You have to
Yeah.
verify
Yeah,
it.
verify it, yeah.
And then that way the business owner, because a lot of times, more times than not,
Yep.
Yeah, there's
I'll
no
see a
way to-
bad review and I'm like, I'll call my manager and go, just look up, Bill Johnson or whatever the name is, right? And they'll be like, we don't find him on our records, Like, oh, really? Shocking. Shaka-Khan.
We never
You know how it is. It's like it's
Yep.
just a game. It's a game out there. This gamesmanship, and some people buy reviews. Some people do this. Some
Fiverr. Charles, your competition just bought some reviews on Fiverr.
Oh, yeah.
And they
Oh, yeah.
lost all of the reviews.
yeah, and then sometimes that backfires on them because Google's
Yeah.
getting more and more clever about all that kind of stuff. But still, there's other sub ones, that do that.
They do.
And
yeah.
I know Yelp's getting almost ugly. They'll call you up and
Dude,
almost
we
extort.
interviewed- We interviewed the lady who did the documentary about Yelp. And
I
she
know, I was
found
there. I know.
that you have to. The average business owner is paying between $500 and $2,000 a month to Yelp right now in order to keep positive reviews showing.
Oh yeah, I only have people that are not members showing, and all my members never show.
Now we have time to read. See, I want to end the show on a high note.
Oh, let's do this.
This listener took the time to write something kind. This is what they said. They
Very
said,
kind.
P.S. Clay, I totally forgot to tell you when I was on the phone with you that my daughters sometime listen to the show with me. I'm sorry. I'm saying I'm sorry. Your daughters listen to the show. I'm sorry. And when I pause the podcast, for whatever reason, the first thing they remind me to do is hit the play button on the show again. They really enjoy the humor, and I enjoy listening and learning with them. My wife doesn't listen with us. It's probably good.
Probably good.
Yeah, she'll get offended, I'm sure. Someone get offended. If your wife has class or honor, she'll be offended with us.
It'll be over.
But she wants to come visit because she really loves the fact that you have the chicken palace. She aspires for us to one day have our own chicken palace. So she is all in whatever you're doing. I need to do to make it happen, and she supports me. Anyhow, they were not happy that I forgot to mention them to you when we spoke. So maybe sometime in the future edition, maybe in a future edition, like Lloyd said, there's a chance that you could mention them somehow so Dad could maybe get off the hook and that would be amazing. Also, I thought about the favorite author question that you asked me, and Ken Blanchard, the 1 Minute Manager, or Spencer Johnson, Who Moved My Cheese, or Jim Collins, Good to Great, would be a great guest. Now, we have had Ken Blanchard on the show. I did get rejected by Jim Collins because he has class, but I've been rejected, I think, only 3 times from Jimmy.
Just 3?
Yeah, from
Well,
Jimmy.
that means you're just getting started.
So if you're out there listening right now and you want us to hear us interview Jim Collins, just reach out to Jim and say, Jim, I know that you normally don't appear on shows where the hosts don't have class, but just this one time.
No, just one time. We just
Photoshop a picture of our
it's like a
faces.
poker-
He'll feel bad. He'll do it.
It's like a poker tournament. You get a just this one time. You get it just this one time.
Just this one time.
Just one time.
Now, on the show here, I just want to make sure you get this. We are an enemy of average. We want to help you be successful. And I will tell you, your life will be a lot less stressful when you have the money in the bank needed to get the goods and services you need, the health care, the college tuition, the groceries, whatever that is you want to buy, the silky chickens. I get it. We have needs.
Oh, you got it all right.
I mean, Z, your elevator wasn't free in your house. I mean, you think about that.
And your silky chickens weren't free.
No, and if you go to GoFundZ.com, GoFundZ, it's Z-E, we're working on that website, you there can donate as little as $1,000 a day to help Z add a second elevator. And without any further ado, let's end this show with a boom. Are you prepared?
Oh, yes, I am.
And take one giant step back from that mic because if not, the mic's gonna pop. Here we go.
We don't want
3,
to
2, 1,
boom.